Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside and welcome to an absolutely beautiful, glorious October day here in North Carolina. Dear heavens, fall has arrived and it feels fantastic. It is amazing. I'm in jeans and a sweatshirt. We'll see how long the sweatshirt lasts. But the cooler temperatures, drier air has arrived. Like we've been in our lows the last 2 days have been 39 degrees. The high today is like the mid 60s. It is like the most perfect weather. I adore this time of year. So today, what are we going to do? We're going to spend some time up here at the chicken coop, and we're going to go ahead and say goodbye to all of the spring, summer annuals that are in this flower bed. And we're going to go ahead and plant it up for fall, winter, and early spring. So first things first, let's look at the current summer annuals, and then we will look at what we're going to plant. Remember, this chicken coop was built, installed, the garden was planted at end of June of this year. Now, we have not received rain, a good rain, in at least 6 weeks. This is not on irrigation, so if it gets water, I have to water it. I have stopped watering. I'm like, y'all, it's fall, I'm done, I'm not watering you. Clearly, my wicked witch is, she's dry and is just, suffering a little bit. So we're just gonna go ahead and rip all of this out. Again, all of these are annuals. These are not gonna be perennials for me. Even my lantana. Now, my salvia has the possibility of being a perennial, but I'm not. I'm treating this area right here are gonna be annuals every year. Having fun with that. So everything is going to get ripped out, and really the only thing that the chickens can eat is the sweet potato vine. They love the sweet potato vine. So as I have been, pruning it back because it just kind of gets out of control and goes everywhere, I have been giving it to them. They love it. So we will give them the sweet potato vine. Everything else will just get pulled out and go into our compost where we put all of our green debris, and it just naturally decomposes there. I'm also going to take out the Mexican sunflowers. Y'all, I do not, maybe y'all are a lot smarter than I am. I did these Mexican sunflowers from seed. This one, I probably had 10 of them, and all of them except this one, and then I gave my mama one, and she had one that did the exact same thing. 0 flowers, none, but it is ginormous. It is probably a good 8 feet tall. And then it has these guys. I don't know. So I don't know why 2 of them did that. I have no idea. So if y'all know, just let me know. And interesting. So all of this, of course, is going to come out as well. There's another one that's hiding that was blooming and still does have a few little blooms on it, but clearly she's seen better days and she's dry, and the salvia is going to come out as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to have some fun, and we are going to plant the fall annuals in here. I always tell myself at the end of the summer, I'm like, Jenny, you're not going to plant any pansies and violas. You're done. You're tired. Forget it. And then the truck arrives with all the beautifulness, and I'm like, oh, well, okay, I changed my mind. So what we're going to do is I went to the nursery, and we have a delivery of fresh pansies, violas, mustards, all that stuff is coming this week. So I just went ahead and helped myself and did the nursery a favor and took away some of the older plants so the new fresh plants would be available for you. So I'm really doing you a service by planting these in my garden. So what we're doing is we're going to plant 2 different types of the Color Max violas. Now, we have the clear orange, which is just a beautiful, nice, traditional orange. And then this is Lemon Splash, Color Max Lemon Splash. I'm pretty sure that is correct. If it's wrong, I'll tell you. The Color Max series of violas, they are more heat tolerant and they are more cold tolerant. So what does that mean for you in your garden? It means that you can plant these violas when our temperatures are still warm. It can still be in the 80s and they will flower. They're not going to get really long and stretchy and just be ugly. They're still going to flower. It means in the dead of winter, in the dead of January, into February, they're more cold tolerant. So they're going to bloom better than maybe say a pansy or other types of violas. So Color Max is a great series. If you can find them at your local garden center, grab them. I love them, I use them. They are probably my preferred. Of course, there's obviously other great ones as well. The Color Max just here in the south is really good because it can handle those extreme temperatures really well. So we're gonna mix these in together and have just a fun effect of those. Of course, I grabbed the Ms. America mustard. I will plant those along the back side of the bed because the chickens can eat them. They can, as the foliage goes up next to the screens, they can eat them and be very happy. And then there was one last Bright Lights Swiss chard back there. We're going to use that on the other side, kind of where those Black-eyed Susan, Mexican sunflowers, sorry, are, along with, I've got actually 3 of these mums. So these mums are the early mums. They are in full bloom and they're beautiful and gorgeous. We've talked about it before that I don't plant mums like in the landscape. I don't treat them as perennials. I don't try to save them as perennials. You absolutely can. I just personally don't. I just enjoy them as a fall decor. So I got 3. We're gonna see how we're gonna place these, but they are gonna be either faux planted, or I'll probably just go ahead, since we're not having any rain, I will just go ahead and plant them in the ground. But as soon as a hard freeze comes and kills them back, then I can just pull them out. So I'm gonna treat them as annuals. If you want your mums to be perennials, you need to make sure you get Belgian mums. Those are perennial, and get them in the ground as soon as you can so that way the roots get established before the cold hits, right? So you want them going. The girls are talking to me. I don't know if you can hear. She's up there just fussing at me. I gave them some dried mealworms, so they should be very happy. And then as soon as I give them the sweet potato vine, they'll be really happy. So what we're gonna do is just easy peasy. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and rip out all of these annuals. I've got to unload Johnny, rip out all the annuals. Chickens get sweet potato vines. Everything else is going to go in the compost, recycle, natural debris kind of area that we just have. Load that all up, take it away, and then I'm gonna place out the fall annuals, and then I'll meet you back here in a few minutes. All right, stay tuned. right, my friends, all of these summer annuals have been pulled out. The chickens have the sweet potato vines, very happy. If you have chickens or you've been around chickens, a quiet chicken is a happy chicken, very content. So they're quiet, so that is a good sign. All of them ripped out fairly easily. This ground is very, very, very dry. The only ones that took a little persuasion were the grasses, because they have such great extensive root systems. So all I had to do was just grab the shovel and pop them up. We do have what they call a predator guard underneath, really surrounding the entire chicken coop. It comes out 3 feet and goes all the way around the chicken coop. And essentially what that is buried chicken wire, because you will get critters, foxes, raccoons, wild dogs, coyotes, whatever, that try to get in here and dig in and get the chickens. So you can actually see a little bit of it sticking up right here. And it does extend 3 feet out, and it does include the flower beds. So we're not going to use the power planter auger today to bury these annuals, plant these annuals, because the last thing I want to do is to go a little bit too deep and that auger grab hold of that chicken wire and either pull it up or rip it or whatever. So we're just going to use our good old Philco hand tools and put them in that way. I have not put out the violas yet. I'm just going to kind of play with that. I think this bed is going to eat up the violas, so I probably need more than what I have, which is not a problem whatsoever. We can go grab some more. But I did go ahead and place the mustards, the Swiss chard, and then the mums. So why am I putting my mustard and my Swiss chard right up against the fence? It is because I want the chickens to go in there and peck and pull and nibble on these great vegetables that are very good for them. We're gonna have to be a little careful, because I think it's that I watered everything, and that is a great trick, is when you're planting in soil that is dry, make sure your plants are really well watered before you put them in. And then of course we're obviously going to come back through and water everything in, but make sure everything is nice and well watered. I watered and the yellow jackets have appeared. I think they're after the water. I didn't hit a nest. I just think they found the water on the plants, and it is so incredibly dry that they're coming and drinking the water off the plants. So I'm kind of hoping this wind that we have is going to dry them up. I actually had one land on my arm. I don't think it didn't really sting me, but this is definitely the season for yellow jackets and when they are the most aggressive. If you don't have yellow jackets, be grateful, because they are a very aggressive, mean, stinging insect that are very aggressive. Like, they will chase you. These are not sweet little honeybees, these are yellow jackets, and they are not nice. So we're gonna let them kind of dry out and disappear. They seem to be kind of going away, but still, I just don't feel like getting stung today. Now, my plan was that the Swiss chard was going to go over there with the mums, and then wouldn't you know, I was one short on my mustards. I cleared out the greenhouse. There are no mustards left, so I said, okay, we're gonna pivot, and game time decision here, and we're gonna change. So the bright lights Swiss chard is in the middle. We have 3 mustards on each side. That works. And then over here, I'm gonna plant these 3 beautiful, just vibrant purple mums here on the corner. Now, when they are said and done, whenever that may be, I could still plant violas or pansies here if I wanted to, or I could just leave them alone. I don't know which one I'm going to do. Time will tell. But for now, it's a beautiful pop of color. I will do my absolute best to get these in the ground, because again, that chicken wire is there and I'm not sure how deep I can go. So what we're going to do is we're going to try not to get stung by yellow jackets, because everything's watered. We're going to do our best. I'm going to first start with the mums. I think they seem to be the less attractive to the yellow jackets. It's always something, right? Like, you just don't plan on yellow jackets appearing to drink the water off of the plants. But here we are. I am going to lay down some biotone in the bed, so before I actually start planting the violas on the other side and the mustards and the Swiss chard, I'm just going to sprinkle down some biotone. That way when I'm planting, it all gets worked in. So here we go. Let's say a little prayer Jenny doesn't get stung. right, my friends, today's project is complete. Summer is out, fall is in here at the chicken coop. Could not be happier. Now, if you followed me this fall or before, you kind of know my style of gardening. I like fall plantings to be very simple. I don't mean that they don't have to be pretty, but just simple. I don't need a whole lot of fuss. We're going into fall, winter, a season of rest. Season of rest in a lot of different ways, but especially here in the garden. I don't want a high maintenance, fussy garden in the fall, but yet I still like having some color. So that is what this little arrangement is going to give me. It has been a positively beautiful day. I did have to shed my sweatshirt, but in jeans and a t-shirt and this gorgeous breeze that we're having is just heavenly. We did not get stung by yellow jackets. I do think Miss Brenna got one though. She tends to snap at them, and so I think it got her on the leg, and so she wasn't very happy about that, but she's fine. I gave her a cute little rub down and she's just doing great. Now, see how much more simple it is? You can see the chickens can see out. In the summer, I like having tall annuals because it helps to give them a little bit of shade. In the winter time, in the fall, see, Brenna likes to charge at them. Of course, the sun is much more gentle and they do need some more sunshine. So all of this planting will be nice and low. Mums, we'll see how long they last, but man, isn't that pop of color sure is pretty, isn't it? I love that. So having those three in the ground, everything you can see is nice and well watered. The violas might be a little smushed down because I did water them really well, but the mustards and the violas doing great, as is the Swiss chard. Now, you will notice perhaps as far as my planting, I only had a certain number. I had 12 orange violas, so I've learned to put them in groups. Instead of like spreading them out, I put them in clumps. So they will get nice and big and look like a big mass of orange. So since I had 12, I wanted 3 groups of 4. So I did one on each end, and then the other one is behind the unique stone rooster back there. And then with my lemon splash, I had 18 of those, so I did them in groups of 3. I had 6, so 3 on each side of the rooster. Makes things balanced. There you go. The beautiful thing about violas for us is that they do last fall, winter, into spring. When I come in here in the spring to put my summer annuals in, they're going to be huge. They're going to be full and they're going to be gorgeous with lots of color. The mustard is going to be nice and tall. I dare say somewhere around 18 inches. That's what it did for us last year. The girls are very happy in there, and as soon as those mustards and Swiss chard and everything starts to grow up, then they will be able to nibble on those quite happily. Now, all of these plants right here would be fine for the chickens to eat. So obviously the mustard, the Swiss chard, the violas, pansies, I mean, those are good for humans. Like, you can decorate your salads with them. And then the mums, all of that is fine. If they were to nibble on some of it, it is not going to hurt them one little bit. Now, I did, as you saw me, and we talked about earlier, I did not use my power planter because I did not want to grab hold of that chicken wire, but I used my Felco garden trowel. Y'all, this thing is substantial, just like the Felco pruners. Their garden tools are great. So in cases like this, where I'm not using my power planter, or maybe you just don't want to use a power planter, the Felco tools are great. And we have them all on our website. So this is the garden trowel. This is the Swiss Hoary Hoary. Then there is the garden fork, nice and big. This is great, like if you want to get in there and like lift something up, that would be a great one. And then the weeder, so you can get in there and pull. The only one we do not have on the website right now is the cultivator, and that is because Felco is out of stock with them. So ours are on back order. As soon as Felco gets theirs, they'll send them to us, and then there you go, and we'll have them on the website. So as of right now, we have these 4 individually, and you can get them as a bundle, and that will work quite well also. Now, I've got 2 other Felco products, but I want to I want to take you over here just for a second and show you, remember we were here just the other day and we did a little experiment with Little Miss Figgy, right? So this is the Southern Living dwarf fig tree, and I planted two, one in a pot, one in the ground, and the one in the pot was really sad looking, right? I mean, it had loads of fruit on it, but no leaves. And then, bless, I think it was Patty. Was it Patty? Patty, I think it was you that told me, you're like, Jimmy, you know, shouldn't you take the figs off? Well, duh, yes, I should. So that is what I did as I came through just the other day, took all the figs off the one that is so bare here in the pot. But look, y'all, can you see? Look at all that beautiful, happy growth. Oh my goodness. I mean, I dare say we almost have a full leaf right there. So it is very, very happy. Now, the thing about figs is if you have ever cut figs or picked figs, you know that as soon as you cut the fruit, this white sap comes out. Very, very sticky. So because I went ahead and took the fruit off of this one and the other one, my Felcos were sticking together like crazy, like the blades were sticking to each other. That is what this Felco 981 is perfect for. So it is a spray. So it's a resin mover, it dissolves that, and so you can just pump it on there, pump, 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 clean it, wipe it off, and it will do, get all that stickiness off of there. And then I'll always come back through and then put the 980 spray. So this is, it is VOC free, so people have asked about that. If you have somebody had, I think, asthma and they couldn't be around something like that, but this is, all of their products are VOC free, but this lubricates the Felcos and keeps them waterproof. So I use this on a regular basis when they get sticky. When I'm trimming something like a fig that is has a lot of resin in it, then this is what you need for sure, and then follow up with this to make sure it's nice and lubricated. But all that, of course, is on the website as well, because I know it can be quite challenging to figure out, like, how do you maintain, how do you take care of your Felcos? Because if we do take care of them, they'll last us forever and ever, amen. So just a little bit, and my gosh, y'all, this stuff will last you forever. I still haven't actually finished one of my, either one of these bottles yet, and I've had them for a while. So they will last you a good long bit. So you can check out the website on all that kind of stuff that you want. But, oh my goodness, it's coming together, y'all. Coming together. The next thing that I really want to tackle is over here. This is going to be the shade garden over here, but I need Jerry to come in with the excavator and clean up some of the underbrush and then like the little scraggly trees that just have no future. And then we're gonna bring in some good compost and start planting. You can see that I have cans out there already, just ready to go. But one step at a time, I tell myself, one project at a time. It's been a great day here in the garden. Feels fantastic. I know you people who deal with the heat and humidity like I do. Can we just talk about how wonderful it is to be outside and not sweat? Oh, it's just great. I love it. It's my favorite time of year. Have all the windows open in the house, and so this morning it was 39 outside, and I turned off the heat, everything, and my family was like, it's so cold. I was like, no, it's not. It's glorious. It was 55 degrees in the house this morning, and it was wonderful. Wasn't it wonderful, honey?
Super nice and a little chilly last night.
Yes, but I told him that's why we have these nice, thick, fluffy blankets, right? Yes. All right. We have got to go check on the production greenhouse because our friends who do the concrete are here and laying down some boards. So he's come collect me. So we're going to film that too. So we've got 2 videos in one day that we're going to make. So tomorrow, check that one out because that one will be coming. All right. As always, thanks for going to Creekside. See you tomorrow. Bye.